What if I told you that changing a simple door lock could get the police called on you? And what if I told you that same call ended with the HOA president absolutely frozen in her tracks? Stick around, because this story of suburban drama, petty power, and one surprising badge is going to blow your mind. Alright, here's a story based on that incredible title, crafted to be engaging and YouTube-friendly. You won't believe what happened at our cabin this past weekend. My wife and I bought our dream getaway a few months ago, a cozy little cabin nestled by a serene lake, part of a rather enthusiastic homeowners association. We'd heard whispers about the HOA, but honestly, we just wanted to enjoy our slice of paradise. The previous owners, bless their hearts, left us with a set of keys that felt like they'd survived a medieval siege. Rusted, bent, and frankly, we had no idea how many copies were floating around. So, my wife, being the practical person she is, decided our first priority was to replace the main door lock. Simple, right? A quick trip to the hardware store, 30 minutes with a screwdriver, and boom, new lock, peace of mind. Or so we thought. The very next day, as my wife was out on the porch, enjoying her morning coffee and the tranquility of the lake, a golf cart came sputtering up our gravel driveway. On it were two individuals, a woman with a perpetually pursed lip, who we later learned was the HOA president, and a man who looked like he'd just swallowed a lemon, presumably her second-in-command. "Good morning," the president began, her voice dripping with an almost theatrical disapproval. "We've received a report that you've made unauthorized alterations to your property." My wife, ever polite, offered a confused smile. "Unauthorized alterations? We just changed the front door lock." The president's lip pursed even further. "Exactly. All exterior modifications, including locks, must be approved by the Architectural Review Committee. This is clearly stated in the bylaws, Section 4, Subsection B, Paragraph 7. She looked as if she expected my wife to immediately burst into tears and beg for forgiveness. My wife, however, just chuckled. "It's a lock. For security. I'm pretty sure that falls under basic home maintenance." "It's a violation," the man chimed in, practically vibrating with self-importance. "And we have a zero-tolerance policy for violations. We've already contacted the authorities." My wife's eyebrows shot up. "You called the cops over a lock?" Just then, a police cruiser, siren silently off, pulled up behind the golf cart. Two officers stepped out, looking somewhat bemused by the scene. The HOA president, emboldened by their arrival, gestured dramatically towards our cabin. "Officers, these people have defied the association rules and made unapproved changes to their property." The officers, bless their patient souls, approached, trying to grasp the gravity of the crime. One of them addressed my wife. "Ma'am, is there an issue here?" My wife, with a calm that bordered on icy, reached into her purse. The HOA president and her crony were practically preening, convinced their victory was at hand. They watched, smug, as my wife pulled out, not her ID, but a small leather wallet. She flipped it open, revealing a gleaming badge. The silver caught the morning sun, and in that instant, the air went out of the HOA's sails faster than a popped balloon. "Actually, officers," my wife said, her voice now carrying an undeniable authority, "Detective Wife's last name, City Police Department. I was simply securing my personal residence. Is there a problem?" The officers' expressions immediately shifted to professional respect. "No, detective," one of them said, a hint of a smirk playing on his lips as he glanced at the now utterly frozen HOA president. "No problem at all. We'll just be on our way." The look on the HOA president's face was priceless. Her jaw actually dropped. The man beside her looked like he'd seen a ghost. They stood there, speechless, as the police car drove away, and my wife, with a knowing smile, slowly closed her badge wallet. Let's just say we haven't heard a peep from the HOA since. And our new lock feels incredibly secure. And that, folks, is the story of how my wife's badge put an end to our HOA's reign of terror. If you enjoyed this tale of unexpected justice, make sure to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more wild stories, home adventures, and maybe even a few more HOA escapades. You never know what's next. Thanks for watching.